This special presentation of the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Purdue University, where the sky is not the limit.
You're watching Purdue Pride, where we'll now show you how the university is making a big difference in improving world health while helping educate pharmacy students. Purdue's Chow Center, located at the Purdue Research Park, has been granted authority to produce ceromycin, a potent antibiotic used to combat multi-drug-resistant tuberculosis. While mostly eliminated in the United States, tuberculosis is still a major problem in many parts of the world, and the multi-drug-resistant variety is a growing threat. However, limited demand for the drug keeps it from being cost-effective for its developer, Indianapolis-based Eli Lilly and Company. So production rights were turned over to 5 manufacturing partners, including Purdue.
Our pharmaceutical students will be able to go to the Chow Center to learn how to produce drugs under the strict guidelines set by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This is valuable training for our students.
Cordova says the center is among the first with a university affiliation to get the rights to manufacture an existing drug.
Already analyze the system. We know roughly what it is going to do.
To aid another part of the world, a Purdue engineer has mapped out a strategy for protecting hundreds of thousands from dying in an earthquake. Civil engineering professor Mete Sozan says Istanbul, Turkey is at high risk of suffering just such an earthquake. His proposed solution? Build a new earthquake-resistant city next door to Istanbul for its 12 million residents.
If it does happen, the city may lose immediately some 120,000 of its citizens. Grim as that is, it is not the big problem. The big problem is that millions of people will be virtually in a state of siege in the city. There will be no water, there will be no communication, no medication, no hospitals. It'll be a major disaster. And if Istanbul collapses, I think so will the Turkish Republic.
A Turkish native, Sozan came up with the new city idea after realizing it would cost $50 billion to modernize the current city and reduce the effects of an earthquake. And he says building a satellite city has many advantages.
The buildings will be built according to the most recent technical standards so that they will be safe in the event of an earthquake. And we intend to work in a lot of computer controls for its transportation. It'll be a modern city by every definition of the term.
To help explain the proposal, Purdue researchers created a 3D fly-through animation showing what the new city would look like. This was produced over a 2-month period by Purdue's Envision Center for Data Perceptualization. Computer graphics technology professor Nicoletta Adamo-Viani headed up the project.
We were tasked with modeling the city based on the city plan, texturing, which means assigning the materials to the buildings, lighting the environment, and then animating a camera that goes around the entire city to show what the city looks like, and rendering the final animation.
The animation contains 9,000 images, each of which normally takes a half hour to render. But the process was sped up using the power of 6,000 computers on campus.
Hail to old Purdue!
Finally, a Purdue researcher was honored for devising a method of food preservation that saved millions of lives around the world. Boilermaker music echoed through the Iowa State Capitol when the Purdue Varsity Glee Club helped celebrate the awarding of the World Food Prize to Philip Nelson. The Scholey Chair Professor in Food Processing was honored for improving aseptic processing, which allows fruits and vegetables to be packaged for long-term storage and bulk transportation without losing nutrition or taste.
We can go into particularly the developing parts of the world and get milk, for example, into remote areas of the country and without the requirement of having that product refrigerated.
This is the moment.
That's all for this edition of Purdue Pride. Until next time, we'll leave you with the Glee Club serenading Professor Nelson at the World Food Prize ceremony.
When I look back, I will recall moment for moment. This was
The preceding program was produced by Purdue University in association with the Big Ten Network.